What is going on, my friends? Welcome back to another video. Boy, do I have some epic news in this video on this truck sitting right behind me. Before we get into that, guys, if you haven't already, time is running out for you to get entered in our latest giveaway truck. It's probably ending pretty soon at this point by the time you see this video. Our truck that we nicknamed Crystal, our Granite Crystal Metallic G56 truck with the sunroof, 800 horsepower. It doesn't get any better, is coming to a close very, very soon. So if you haven't already gotten entered in that truck, highly suggest you do so. Wrenchworks.com. Every dollar that you spend automatically gets you entered to win that truck. So go do that. Now, the moment that you've all been waiting for in a very long and anticipated build on this truck sitting right here. We've called this thing a couple different names. We've called it the Clap Gen. We've called it, a pre-runner style build. We have had a suspension for this truck from the guys at CJC Off-Road for quite a while. We unboxed it forever ago, it seems like. We have got a Carli unchained suspension kit for this truck sitting right here, and we've been waiting to find time to do it. The guys over at CJC Off-Road, they're like, man, it's been a while. Why don't you let us help you get this thing knocked out? If you get the truck out here, and they are a hike, they're in California, Long Beach, California almost. I mean, we're talking 2,000 miles away. They're like, if you get the truck out here, we want to help you get this thing done because we want to see you use it. We know you're waiting to get off-road with it. We want to just have some fun. So that's exactly what we did. We are getting the truck transported. Actually today it's getting picked up, and it is going to make the trek all the way out to the guys at CJC Off-Road. So the help of them with me, we're gonna fly out there and help them with the truck, but we're gonna get this truck done, and today marks the start of that, which gets me super, super excited. So if you can't tell, the suspension is not on the truck. It is all inside the truck. So that is a full Carli Unchained kit in the bed and inside this truck. 2,000 miles later, the next clip that you probably see of this truck is going to be them tearing it down. So they're gonna get a little bit of a jump start before we get out there with all of our other projects. They are gonna help knock this thing out. Been working with the guys at CJC Off-Road for a very, very long time. If you guys need anything suspension related for your truck, Ford, Chevy, Ram, doesn't matter what it is, they've got suspension stuff for you guys. You won't meet a better crew to get a suspension from. So go check them out. But the next clip you see, we're gonna get this bad boy on the trailer and head it out to California. Clapper goes to Cali, baby. Alright, my friends, well, we have officially landed in California. As you can see, the truck is sitting behind us as well. Got the truck shipped out here, made it safe and sound with all the parts and pieces in the bed. The guys over here at CJC Off-Road have already gotten started. They've got like a 1 or 2 day head start on tearing it down. We're gonna jump in and help them, and we're gonna get this Carli Unchained suspension kit installed here with the guys at CJC Off-Road. So I am extremely pumped and excited. You guys have seen us install many kits from CJC Off-Road, pin top kits on all the giveaway trucks, all my personal trucks. The Unchained kit is the biggest and the baddest, basically production suspension kit that you can put on a truck to go out and really thrash and use, which we're gonna do here at the end of, well, actually, might be the next video. All the parts and pieces we kind of already unboxed in a previous video. We'll put that link down below so you guys can check it out. There's a lot of parts, a lot of pieces. This is fairly extensive install. It's not completely bolt-on. There are some welding parts of this kit, if you want to call it that, but we're gonna tackle it here with these guys. Like I said, I am super pumped, and in the next video, we will be using the truck, going out, testing it, hopefully getting airborne with this bad boy, but that's where we're at, that's what we're doing, and yeah, it's time to build. actually, normally right here is where your control arms would be sitting to go forward to your front axle. Obviously the front axle is out of the truck. The kit actually has a weld-on truss that we're gonna be putting on as well. So there's a lot of welding that has to be done on the front axle, which makes it kind of like not so bolt-on. But we actually need to completely remove this mount for the control arms on the frame side, and that's all gonna get replaced. But you actually have to cut all of this off as well for the long arm part of the kit.
Oh,
out of all
buddy.
things, you're gonna video that?
Oh, buddy, you look dialed in.
My dialed is this? I've never used a headlamp like this, you know. Oh, I look good.
You look good.
I look like this is my pre-runner truck. Hey, is it safe to say that I can call this truck a pre-runner truck, or is that stretching a little bit? He paused.
Comments, someone will correct you regardless.
What do I call it if it's not a pre-runner truck?
I guess you could call it pre-runner, like.
Where's Andrew? Say hello to YouTube first and foremost.
What's going on?
Am I allowed to call this a pre-runner truck, or is this not technically a pre-runner truck? Am I stretching it with pre-runner?
I don't think so. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like pre-runner is a very loose term, right? But
I don't know.
It's about as close as you can get in like a 7,000-8,000 pound diesel truck without going absolutely crazy, back halving it and linking it. So
full-size pre-runner-ish.
yeah,
I've always called it my pre-runner project, but you know what I mean. Everyone likes to, you know, depending on what side, you know, this might be a little more of a pre-runner.
Yeah. This is a little more like traditional pre-runner, but that's about as close as you can get a diesel truck to keeping up.
That's
with
my
this thing.
redneck pre-runner.
Exactly. There we go. That's perfect.
Some of this Cali sun.
Yeah, I need to get some of this Carli sun. I'm gonna start prepping this axle. So this kit gets rowdy enough to truss the front axle. A lot of the weight in these big trucks, they're gonna try to bend this axle. So this whole thing has to get welded and trussed in. So I volunteered to do the dirty work of trying to prep some of this up.
Captain Morgan stance.
I am. This, you know what I mean. I'm getting excited.
I don't know why you volunteered for this job, but
I didn't. You know. All right, so before the bed goes back on, you're not able to kind of like see some of the intricate little details that are not so bolt-on about this kit. The one big thing in the back underneath the bed is we've got our rear shock mounts. On the frame side of things, you can see this is the new bracket that Carli gives you that needs to kind of get put on right here. The old bracket is really just, I almost want to call it like thinner stamped steel. What they've found is obviously with the beating of the shocks and stuff like that, these mounts take a huge beating. So we've got new rear shock mounts on the frame side, on the left side and the right side. You can see that bracket that's a beefcake of a bracket right there. So we're gonna weld these on now. So it's starting to go back together. I just want to show you guys that before the bed goes back on. It's real hard to see. So new rear shock brackets going on. Oh yeah, those will be sick.
who's your top dog?
We are officially Baja designed out. We're not quite ready to get away with you know, our stock bumpers yet. You know, that's on the to-do list, just so everybody knows. But as far as like the lighting and our little custom billet grill here, you know, we can fix that. So Andrew over here got us set up with some Baja Designs fog lights, and I think we got a little light bar in there. So we're at least gonna, you know, up the look here with our stock bumper. The orange just really, you know, completes the look. I don't know exactly what to call the look, but
Oh, buddy.
damn, we're gonna be thugged out. No, they never come out. So you know what? We're gonna improvise. I guess that came out pretty easy. I don't even know how that's attached or was attached.
I don't think it was. Where did it go?
Here it is. $200. I know what I have. That's a new oil pan now. Yeah, all those shots that you guys saw beforehand, that's before we replaced the oil pan. That's the new oil pan. We did that overnight. Yep. We just installed rock lights as well, right here. Oh yeah, we're money. That thing looks sick. Wyatt! Oh, look at that.
Hey man, that's really loud.
Wow, so you got to drill out the whole coil bucket on that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
And then you got to do it again on the axle.
Okay. Wow. I didn't quite understand when you said drill out the coil bucket, but I understand now what you mean by drilling out the coil bucket. Wow. We're over here messing with light bars. Wyatt's over here carrying the team on the coil buckets.
Right.
Holy smokes. Andrew, explain this a little bit. These are CJC brackets?
Yes.
Okay.
So those are brackets that we make in-house. Those are actually fabricated by one of our guys in the warehouse, his brother. Okay. Wells those for us here in California. But they basically replace your tow hook completely. So you still have a recovery point right here. You can use the soft shackle, but it lets you flush mount a Ball Designs light bar in the bumper, which is kind of cool.
That is slick. Grinding that I've been doing is really in preparation for this axle truss to kind of get put on this front axle. It actually goes on the bottom side, which I didn't even realize here, but you can kind of see exactly how it looks like. Andrew, why, like in my mind, it didn't really make sense of why the front axle needs to get trussed. I mean, I know it's heavy, but really, like, what is all this for? Why is all this necessary when you like going this far?
It is not hard to bend one of these axles, especially when you're bottoming out the truck hard, jumping it, etc., etc. We see way too many bent axles here. Yeah, and just as simple as hitting a curb will bend your axle on these trucks. Really? Yeah, it's pretty easy. It's a lot easier than people think.
I honestly felt like, I'm like, man, the rear axle is going to take the most abuse, but I guess like complete opposite, like all the weights in the front.
Yeah,
like,
all the weights in the front. So the goal of this truss is basically to support the axle as much as possible. Axle truss is going to weld on pretty much the entire length of the axle, and this truss, aside from the actual metal structure you see inside, it's got a full internal structure here, cross lattice. It is about as strong as it gets in terms of an axle truss. On top of that, there's also a lot of supporting pieces in this truss kit, so any kind of kind of little extra thing, you're going to be supporting the axle C's as well. So there's going to be a piece that goes between the axle C and where the coil bucket is and braces that. Basically any part of this axle, as much as possible, is going to be supported, hopefully to keep it from bending.
Granted, it's first time, but I mean, I probably have at least 4 or 5 hours in just prepping this axle. I mean, I didn't realize that all of this could bend. You guys, I mean, the viral videos of people jumping these things, like, more times than not, come to learn, they end up with a broken front end. And I mean, really, it's like, what else are you gonna do? This is where it's not so bolt-on. Yeah. But wanted to kind of explain a little bit of some of that heavy fab side of things, as far as like how much work it's going to be to weld in that front axle. And not to mention something new that my truck will have is coil bucket bracing, which we'll show you guys, and new engine mounts and engine mount bracing. So we'll show you guys that, but tremendous amount of time in getting all the supporting pieces put in place. I mean, a lot of the kit is bolt-on, but what's not is very supporting pieces. Supporting pieces are very heavily involved with making this as strong as possible, so the next video we can go beat the crap out of it. Yeah, tomorrow MIG Master Mike shows up, and he's going to glue all this together. That's insane. The shocks are that big. They gotta cut the Persian diameter out. Yeah, I love grinding this axle. I feel like I've shown up just to grind this axle.
We'll have to Carli to grind an axle.
You know what? And hopefully I get to drive it. Maybe Andrew will let me drive it. Oh my gosh, they're all black. Who would have guessed? Crazy. Whee!
So cast wheels are like low pressure cast molded, right? They just pour molten metal into a mold.
Okay.
Flow form is basically once it comes out of that cast molding process, it gets reheated and the barrel gets pressurized.
Okay.
It aligns the grain of the aluminum, makes it stronger and lighter.
Oh wow.
So you're basically like, you're not paying forged wheel prices, but you're getting a lighter wheel that's stronger.
That's stronger?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of a cool hybrid setup.
Well, I just took our prop piece over here. What's cool about these wheels, you've got many different colors, you've got many different ring options color-wise, and different hardware. So I mean, the combinations are like kind of go a little more, so you don't just have to have basically a stock stuck like set. You can kind of pick and choose the ring and the rock and all that stuff.
Yeah, and it's a simulated bead lock, so it's not a true bead lock, which is nice because you can change the ring as you want. So hit it on a rock, you can swap the ring out, but you can also easily swap them out at home if you get tired of having a black ring.
Right.
If you want to do like a polished ring, you can do that.
Let me guess, it's black.
It's black.
Holy smokes, it's black. Wow.
Who
Would you
would've
imagine?
thought?
We got silver hardware though to make up for it. Look at that. Look at that beefcake right there.
Bro, you quick with it out here.
Wow. Beep. 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 That's some beef right there.
That girl.
That's some beef. Front axle, you know, temporarily put back in there.
Right.
To simulate the to the front there. I love it.
You've never done that before.
No, that's a new look for me. That looks sick. Alrighty, my friends, want to catch up with you guys. I would say we're maybe about halfway through the project. We are technically only on day 4 of this build. 1 day before we got here with Wyatt and the guys tearing it down, and then 3 days with us being here. It's Friday evening time. This is where we're ending for the week. We've got all of the heavy, I would say, not so bolt-on fab side of this done. So I want to go through that with you because we're going to hit it hard Monday, and this truck is going to fly together. So kind of want to go over where we're at with everything and just kind of run through it. So front axle, and again, huge shout out to MIG Master Mike here from Carli helping us out. He did mostly all the welding today. Solid day of welding. We have got the axle truss completely done, completely boxed in. All of my grinding work paid off. So he did say we did a decent job on the prep job. But as you can see, this front axle truss is no joke. It goes all the way up underneath here on these bottom knuckle pieces. We've got the top side of the knuckle completely boxed in up here on the coil bucket part, all the way around it. I mean, we doubled the weight of this front axle, and really that is just because when we go to jump it, these front axles just take a beating. So this thing's beefed up, it's ready to go. Around the back side, it's a little hard to see, but right here, this is actually where the front bump stop is going to push up, and we'll show you guys where on the truck, but this is all welded in. We started getting our Carli ball joints put in on the front axle. We actually had to hog out the coil bucket here for the diameter of the new front shocks. So a lot of front work on the axle. We should be able to wrap that up pretty good on Monday. Coming back to here before this gets painted and made really, really nice, our bracing that goes all the way around our I would call it the coil tower. This is boxed in, this is boxed in. We've got to put new engine mounts in it, which we're gonna do Monday as well. Dawson will probably overlay a shot, but we've got the bracing that goes around the engine mount beefed up as well. So we've got plates on the engine mounts, which doesn't seem like a lot. It seems like we just got it done, but it's really hard to get in that area with an engine still in the truck. But we got that in, we've got those welded in, all of the supports. This is the strike plate, which was welded on here. That's where the hydraulic bump stop's gonna come up and hit when we jump this thing, and it needs some assistance on the bump. A lot of time prepping that, getting that welded in. Again, really a full day of welding. So we are really now ready to reassemble the truck. We've got our long arm frame bracket side of things. That is pretty much bolted on. We've got another cross member that spans across that, and we'll go ahead and put our arms in. Really, now that the front axle is done and we'll get it prepped and painted, we'll be able to put the front axle back in, and then we can build off of that. It needed a new steering box, and we've got a 14 plus pump upgrade on this truck as well because it was leaking fluid everywhere. So we've got a new box, a new pump, and then all the work today. The bed is back on, as you can see. We got the leaf springs just hanging. We've got our rear shock. New brake lines with this kit. There is a lot of miscellaneous little parts and pieces that all support the truck being this capable. So front brake lines, rear brake lines. You guys saw the weld on rear upper shock mounts. Those like to break. So over the course of Dan and the guys that have these Unchained kits breaking the trucks and then fixing them, they constantly always like improve and upgrade them. So all of that stuff is taken care of on this truck. We also need to put some new bed support pieces in there as well, because this bed's actually already pre-flexed out, but we'll go ahead and fix that. Again, just Big Jump certified, making sure our tailgate doesn't completely fly off. We are ready to put this truck back together come Monday. So it should go back together pretty smoothly from here. A lot of time again in the fab, in all of the non-bolt-on welding part of that. But that is pretty much done, and we're ready to rip. So we'll see you guys in the next clip on Monday morning, and we're gonna see, oh, the wheels and tires are done. So it's flying together, it's coming together. Huge thank you to all the guys who are helping out, making this possible. This is a intense kit. I am so happy that we are out here with these guys getting this done because it would take us quite a long time to knock this out. The fact that these guys know how this stuff goes together, they've pieced it together before, it's going together so smoothly. Super thankful to be out here, have the opportunity to do it with these guys. And yeah, let's get this truck done so we can see it on the ground and we can start using it. Quick update here before we finally put the front axle underneath the truck. I know it may not seem like a lot of progress has been happening, but I have been getting my butt absolutely kicked today on these engine mounts. Not necessarily the engine mount side of things, but the plates that we put in to strengthen the frame side of the engine mount are very finicky and very picky. The factory side, you kind of have a smaller headed bolt that gets to slip down into the frame side. Now that we have plates on either side and we actually drilled them out to a bigger diameter bolt, which a 9/16 bolt, not a lot of tolerance from side to side. Me and Wyatt both have been getting our butts kicked, so we've spent quite a bit of time on that. But before we do that, we've got our front sway bar loosely mocked up in here. We've got our long arms hung and ready to kind of swing into place. A couple other random miscellaneous things. The starter's back in it. We're finally ready to kind of like button it up. The rest of it should go pretty quickly. The engine mounts definitely ate some serious time getting that done. But ball joints are done. Front axle is 100% complete, ready to go back in. We've got our front diff guard. One other quick thing to note here, engine mounts may seem pretty overkill or maybe not needed, but if you look in here, this is actually your factory engine mount, and you can see even just age. Not that the factory truck, I mean this truck really wasn't doing anything crazy before we got it with 160,000 miles on it, but it is a 03 truck, and you can see the rubber inside here really starts to deteriorate, and you can see we have some pretty major cracking going on. So now that this truck is going to be put through some abuse, honestly a pretty high necessity. These would fail pretty quickly under the abuse that we're about to put it in. So it may seem like a lot, but again, just something that supporting wise will most likely fail. You guys can see, I mean, so you don't want to have it fail. So
especially not in the desert.
Not in the desert. You're not going to do a whole lot. That's pretty much going to end your weekend. So a lot of work into supporting pieces, but all completely necessary because they are things that will leave you stranded pretty much. Oh yeah. You know, everything starts with a good foundation, you know, and you know, when I say foundation, I mean foundation wheels, you know, so you can't be riding without a good foundation. Get yourself some foundation wheels. Foundation. Alrighty guys, well after I would say 5 or 6 grueling long days, we have a completed truck sitting behind me. Carli Unchained suspension is done. We are ready to start driving the truck, testing it. That will actually be the next video. Can't say thank you to the guys at CJC Off-Road enough for making this happen. Andrew, all the guys there, Wyatt, just everybody there for making this happen. Truly, truly couldn't have done it without them. Appreciate their time so much helping us knock this truck out. So let's go over the truck real quick. But again, really anything on this truck, let alone all of the other stuff that CJC Off-Road sells, whether it's just leveling stuff that you're looking for, doesn't just have to be Carli per se. CJC Off-Road is your basically one-stop shop for honestly a ton of stuff besides suspension, but obviously off-road suspension and high-performance suspension is their bread and butter. So let's go over the truck real quick. Just a couple things on the truck that I want to really mention. Baja Designs jumped on board. We've got one of their light bars in the front. We've got their fog lights, again the brackets and stuff to make all that work with the truck from CJC Off-Road. Obviously we've got the Unchained kit. One of the cool things that I want to mention, really just the huge things that stick out to me, these front shocks are insane. We've got 3.5 shocks in the front, which is just so sick. The look is just absolutely killer. Just a little bit of driving that we've done, this thing doesn't care what you take it on in an urban setting anyway. It just really feels like it wants to go over and on top of everything. The Carli long arm kit looks absolutely killer on the truck. It just has such a sick look. So we've got shocks, coils, I mean all the normal stuff that you would normally see on a normal, I would say maybe a pin top kit, but all of the supporting stuff. We've been over all the extra detail supporting stuff, the brake lines, the plating, all that stuff that kind of makes this truck so capable. DNR Customs, you guys have heard me talk about them. All the drive shaft stuff on pretty much all the trucks. They helped out get us a front drive shaft on the truck. We've got a Bad Axe steering kit on the front of the truck. Super big joints, really heavy duty. Those are some of the other things on the truck that aren't necessarily part of the kit, but you can still get pretty much everything from CJC Off-Road with the truck. On the back here, again, 3.0 shocks in the back. We've got the springs. We've got a set of patent fabrication bed supports. Really, just for some clarification, when you jump these things or when the beds get weak, they start to do this on the bed sides. So that's why we kind of added these a little bit here, just to kind of make sure that our tailgate doesn't go flying off when we hit a jump. We've got foundation wheels, which you can also find on CJC Off-Road. Toyo 371350 tires, and yeah, we're ready to party. So that's pretty much gonna wrap up this video. Stay tuned for the next video or two as we kind of continue to put the truck through its paces and see what kind of trouble we can get into with this truck. But huge appreciation again for CJ Off-Road making it happen. This is a huge project, 5-6 solid days of work transforming this truck into what you see here now. So that's it. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys go to wrenchworks.com. Make sure you guys get entered in the giveaway that ends pretty much in a day or two. The 14th, which is Monday. End of Monday is the last day you can get entered for our current giveaway truck. Make sure you guys support your boys, support the channel. Go get entered. That's a wrap. We'll see you in the next one.